We begin the news from Rome as all eyes turn to the conclave after Pope Francis was laid to rest. Now, the secretive meeting of cardinals set to convene within days to elect a new head of the Catholic Church. Mourners were permitted to visit his tomb for the first time on Sunday, a day after an estimated 400,000 people, including world leaders, turned out for the Argentine's funeral at the Vatican and burial in Rome. The crowds were a testament to the popularity of Francis, an energetic reformer who championed the poorest and most vulnerable. Many of those mourning the late Pope, who died on Monday, aged 88, expressed anxiety about who will succeed him. Still in Rome, tens of thousands gathered in Vatican City for the funeral of Pope Francis to celebrate a life that broke traditions and bridged divides. News Central's international correspondent Afia Hagen reports from Rome.
A massive crowd, including world leaders, royalty and everyday worshippers, gathered in St. Peter's Square to bid farewell to Pope Francis, who passed away on Easter Monday at the age of 88. More than 400,000 mourners, including approximately 50,000 in St. Peter's Square alone, attended the funeral, reflecting a broad appeal of a Pope who emphasized humility and reform. Former President Joe Biden, President Donald Trump, President Emmanuel Macron, President Volodymyr Zelensky, Prince William and other dignitaries joined cardinals, bishops and priests for the solemn service. Pope Francis chose simplicity even in death, opting for a modest wooden coffin lined with zinc instead of traditional elaborate papal caskets, symbolic of his vision for a poor church for the poor. In his homily, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re praised Pope Francis for his compassion and his ability to resonate deeply with people from all walks of life, highlighting his dedication to migrants, climate change, and openness to all. Cardinal Re notably echoed Pope Francis's advocacy, urging global leaders to build bridges, not walls. After the service, the pontiff's coffin was blessed with holy water and carried back into St. Peter's Basilica as the solemn tolling of funeral bells echoed through the city. Pope Francis' final journey then took him through the streets of Rome, greeted by crowds of supporters cheering and applauding. In a poignant reflection of his lifelong advocacy, prisoners and migrants carried his coffin into the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, his chosen resting place. In keeping with his final wishes, Pope Francis was buried privately and simply, with just his papal name, Franciscus, inscribed on his grave. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagen in Rome.
For more on this, I'm joined by our international correspondent, Afia Hagen, to provide a quick rundown of the day's event. Afia, tell us what the latest from Rome is, the day after the Pope's funeral.
Well, some normalcy is returning to the streets of Rome. I'm on a main street that leads into the Vatican City, literally on the edge of it. This is a street yesterday that was completely closed off. You couldn't walk down it, or you could only walk down it, you could drive down it. And today it's open, the cars are going up and down, people cycling, people going about their business. There's certainly a different atmosphere in the city than there was yesterday. Today feels much lighter. Yesterday was heavier, definitely an atmosphere of sorrow. And so today I think Rome feels like it's certainly getting back to normal.
Now talk to us about some of the standout moments for you from this momentous occasion.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was an incredible day yesterday, a front row seat to history, absolutely. I think for me, seeing all the cardinals there in their signature red all together in that open air mass was iconic, so to speak. I think also Battista Re, Cardinal Battista Re's sermon that he gave when he talked about Pope Francis and the values that he had, whether that came to inclusivity, the environment, how we should treat immigrants. And that got ripples of applause from the audience where I was standing. But that was hugely significant, I think. And also to say that in the front of 50 world leaders, some of which have done the opposite of the things that Pope Francis has done and the things that Pope Francis believed in, rather. I thought that was really quite powerful. And also the fact that moving through the crowds, the 50,000 strong crowds at St. Peter's Square, you had ministers giving out communion to people. I thought that was really powerful as well.
Okay. Now, Afia, what happens now as we await the beginning of the conclave?
Well, we are in the second day of 9 days of official mourning from Pope's funeral to the start of the conclave. Now, the conclave, the earliest it can start is next Tuesday, the 6th of May, and the latest it can start is the 11th of May. So we assume that it's going to start sometime between them. We don't know when exactly. The cardinals have already started those discussions unofficially. 135 cardinals are thought to be taking part in this particular conclave. Now, 80% of those cardinals are ones that were picked by Pope Francis himself. So could that mean that we get a cardinal with the same leaning to Pope Francis? We actually don't know. We have no idea what will happen during that very special and very secretive time. But the preparations for conclave are most certainly underway.
All right, well, thank you, Afia, for that update. Now let's talk politics in Nigeria, where Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewari was present when the Progressive Governors Forum met in Abuja on Saturday night. The meeting was to welcome new entrants into the ruling All Progressives Congress, but Oborewari, who recently teamed up with the party, did not attend. Oborewari, who swept to victory in 2023 under the main opposition People's Democratic Party, however, dumped the party earlier in the week, citing several factors. The governor, his predecessor, Ifeanyi Okowa, and the entire PDP in the South state said they are collapsing their structure into the leading APC, which they argue serves as a better platform for the oil-rich state. Other persons who attended the meeting include Senator Ned Nwoko, who represents Delta North, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, a former Deputy Senate President, Ovie Omoagege, APC scribe, Felix Moka, a former governorship candidate in Delta State, Great Ogboru, and other members of the National Assembly. Meanwhile, Abia State Governor Alex Oti has dismissed reports suggesting that he is planning to defect to the All Progressives Congress from the Labour Party. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Ikeoma, the governor clarified that he neither held any meeting with Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma nor discussed plans to join the APC. He explained that following the National Economic Council meeting on Thursday, 24th April, Governor Oti, alongside a few of his colleagues, had attended the birthday celebration of Governor Uzodinma's twin daughters, a purely social event unconnected to politics. Ikeoma stressed that any major political move by Governor Oti must be justified and demonstrably in the overriding interest of the Abia people. The Deputy National Chairman of the Labour Party, Dr. Ayo Olorunfemi, has advised the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate to ignore all calls to dump the party ahead of the 2027 general election. Olorunfemi, who was the LP candidate in the 2024 Ondo governorship election, told journalists on Sunday in Lagos that Obi should rather focus on rebuilding the party. Olorunfemi, who noted that though Obi was at liberty under the law to associate with any political party of his choice, said he needed to be wary of what he called dangerous advances. Noting that Obi could resolve the crisis in LP, Olorunfemi said that some aspirants shelved their ambitions in 2022 to allow Obi to use the LP platforms to run for president. He, however, said that if Obi decided to dump the LP, the party would continue to exist as a strong opposition party. In the meantime, the Obedient movement is strengthening its grassroots presence in Nigeria's southwest region ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, this comes as the movement, with members from across the southwest, organized a conference themed "Information is Power" held in Lagos. News Central correspondent Israel Eferobo has details.
The The event opened with a welcome address by Honorable Sheyi Shewumi, a member of the House of Representatives, who stressed the vital role of political awareness and voter education in shaping Nigeria's future.
These are your highlights, your family in this fight to rescue Nigeria. Lean on them, learn from them, and when the work feels heavy, let the passion remind you in Nigeria is possible.
The conference keynote session featured influential voices from the movement, including Dele Farotimi, a member of the Obedient Southwest Council, and Yunusa Tanko, the Obedient Coordinator worldwide.
If you are interested in doing anything with 2027, you better let that agitation begin today with demand for electoral reform of this sort that allows you to have a vote and that allows you to be able to speak with some credibility as to being citizens.
Building the structure from the top, we've gotten our leadership from the top, we have our directorate. Now we are going to get our state coordinators, from the state coordinators down to the ward level, from the ward level down to the polling unit.
A major highlight was the official launch of the Obedient registration platforms designed to streamline the onboarding of both new and existing members.
Obedient card is the registration card for all Obedient movement members. We want to know our numbers. We want to connect with each other. And so this card, this is the Obedient card, this is my own card. The registration I did yesterday. And so today, I am a registered official member of the Obedient movement.
And structure, we structure to reach out to the grassroots, from the regional to the state and to the local government and to the world. And as you can see, today we launch out the digital awareness registration of the Obedient movement. So from the regional to the state and to the world level.
And what you are seeing today is part of correcting that process. It's about starting early, it's about building structures, it's about grassroots structures, not just structures where we just come and we talk to ourselves. Polling unit structures.
Not last time, but one of our feelings was polling unit agents. We didn't have polling unit agents in the last election. So these are the mistakes we are trying to correct this time around. We are trying to get our people in every single polling unit, and it's grassroots.
Some Obedient shared their experiences at the conference.
Obedience is a great thing that is happening to us as Obedience. It's one of the movements that I cherish so much, and that's why I'm here.
We had visitors from all over Lagos and outside Lagos. It's an event I am so happy that it ended well.
Where Obedience movement was nowhere to be found. But we stood, like my group now is Obi for Better Nigeria, and we create a lot of awareness during the time of election in 2023 at Oshodi Solo. And I'm happy with what I'm seeing here, because as at there, we're just trying to get one or two people to join us. But today it has become a name that has come to stay.
With structures now being put in place, the message from the gathering was clear. The journey to 2027 starts today with information, unity, and action. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Ifirobo.
Nigerians have been urged to remain optimistic that President Bola Tinubu's government will not renege in delivering on its campaign promises made to Nigerians. A member of the ruling All Progressives Congress in Lagos State, Biodun Koka, made the plea in view of the current economic situation occasioned by some of the policies being implemented by the federal government. Abiodun, who spoke at a rally in Lagos, canvassed for Nigerians to remain faithful on the Nigerian project. He assured that the president's actions are well-intended, adding that the positive side of the policies will come to light in due course. A group of concerned Lagos residents under the banner of Tenant Watch Lagos have staged a protest to express their grievances over the soaring cost of house rents and the unchecked activities of uncertified real agents or real estate agents, commonly referred to as agents. The demonstrators marched from Ikeja to the Lagos State House of Assembly to formally present their demands. They called on Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Lagos State House of Assembly to urgently intervene by regulating house rents and curbing the operations of illegal and unlicensed real estate practitioners across the state.
Lagos State House of Assembly, for the House of Assembly and even to the governor's office, that they should just help us arrange this thing very well, because the rate that all these agents are increasing all this house rent, house agreement and commission is getting out of hand. When house is 800,000, agreement and commission must be 40-40, which is 80,000.
The commission agreement of 18 had several experiences, to talk about it. It's alarming, it's killing people. Everything is not about government, and individual thing now, the way I see it. So it actually happened to me too. I wanted to get an apartment at Jojo Elegba, the apartment, 2-bedroom flat with 3 toilets, quite nice. It's going for ₦1 million. Then the agent in charge told me agreement and commission damages ₦1 million. Total package of ₦2 million. That's killing. That is not it at all. You should.
When you come to my estate, in our Soya estate, that's where I live. So our own ESCO member invite agents for our estate. They have meeting with them, collaborate with them, calling house owners to increase their rents. Like my own house from ₦2 million to ₦3 million right now, from 2M to ₦3 million.
There's difference between agents and the rector. You understand? It's this agent that we don't want. I know director is an occupation, you are trained for it, and you are certified, and you have your office. But funny enough, most of these guys, now them be director, but now they go to employ agents, make them they help them, they do nonsense. So it's the agents we don't want. We don't want agents.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, a major rescue operation has brought 231 Nigerians back home after they were trafficked to Ghana and forced into cybercrime. While most are victims, some have been identified as suspects linked to the criminal network. News Central's Oluwakemi Alimi reports.
A quiet return, but a powerful story of survival. 231 Nigerians have arrived in Lagos after being rescued from a cybercrime trafficking ring in Ghana. The rescue was a joint operation involving Ghana's Economic and Organized Crime Office, Nigeria's National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, and the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
On the 28th March, we received a complaint from an informant alleging that a group of people suspected to be Nigerians have brought in victims to their apartments, and that they are using them to engage in prohibited cyber activities. So they called on the office to assist in their arrest and then prosecution.
According to NAPTIP, 204 of the returnees have been confirmed as victims, young men trafficked under false pretenses and coerced into cyber scams. 27 others are suspected of playing roles in coordinating the criminal activities. The victims will receive medical treatment, counseling and reintegration support, while the suspects will be handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation and prosecution.
Ensure that most of them that are sick, they are stated after profiling them, and provide drugs for them. If it is fever, headache, or any form of sickness, we attend to them. These victims were being trafficked, and they were used for internet fraud, as per the letter we got from the Ghanaian government.
It's something that ECOWAS has to take very seriously. Because of this free movement of persons, people take things for granted. So it's really something that has to be taken up more seriously by the whole of the ECOWAS community.
It was an emotional moment as some of the victims shared their harrowing experiences.
Yes, Percy took me to Ghana last year, June. That is where I entered Ghana. I want to go to school and graduate from university.
I needed the capital to start my own shop. So that was when I met one guy that went there. So he told me that there was work there, but he never told me the actual work they were doing there. So when we got there, the work they were doing there, I discovered that they were just operating computers. Then I started to ask questions. Then they told me that if I don't actually want to do the work, I should pay my transport back home my eyes, because of steady looking on the system, I can't see where right now.
For now, the rescued individuals remain in the care of NAPTIP, undergoing rehabilitation. Authorities are warning Nigerians to remain cautious of overseas job offers that seem too good to be true. A stark reminder of the dangers of human trafficking and the urgent need for greater awareness and vigilance. In Lagos, for News Central, Uluwakemi Alimi.
The industrial sector in Borno State is in dire need of resuscitation. Now, with many industries facing closure due to lack of investment and infrastructure support, experts are calling on the Nigerian government to make strategic investments to revive these industries. News Central's Umari Kirawa assesses the state of the industries.
Borno is a Nigerian state sharing land border with 3 different countries of Cameroon, Chad and Niger republics. The popular Borno semolina flour used to be the best across Nigeria and a favorite for many families. The Borno flour mills and industry producing the product still exist, but the semolina flour is nowhere to be found in market.
Fulawan da suke abin samabitan da suke kawo wallahi duk Najeriya ba irin shi. To amma yanzu wani abu ne wanda ba za ka iya maka ce kaman babu ne da akwai. To wannan al'amari ba za ka ce ga mai laifi ga wancan mai laifi ba, amma menene dukkani za a taru a gyara abin yayi mai kyau.
For now, it is just like a mirage. There are no functional or an industry performing optimally now in Borno if you compare it to its former state.
Property of Aliu Zarma, this rubber bowl produced by the Borno plastic industry is 30 years old and still counting, showcasing the quality of the product.
Gaskiya kamar ce ma 30 years back. Kaga Buffalo wannan yana aiki, Fulamis yana aiki, Natal Shoe Factory yana aiki. Wayannan ukun duka ma zan iya gaya ma cewa ina amfani da abubuwan su.
In terms of infrastructural development, the governor has done more than enough. But we need to please, would like to please call on them to please rejuvenate some of these industries for the benefit of young people in the state. The previous administration has established about 8 or 7 industries in the states within Maiduguri metropolis. But believe me, none of them is working today.
Available data show that Borno Wire Industries, Borno Fertilizer Company Limited are dormant, while Maiduguri Flour Mills Limited performing skeletal operations, among others like Boplas and Nitel Shoes Nigeria Limited, which are said to have been leased to private investors.
So what the government need to have done now is like to go out and they look for investors, get confidence from these investors. I've been telling people that we have lost the opportunity of engaging the United Nations. When this insurgency is going and a lot of money is being injected, the United Nations could have select some industries and then make them activate it, and then this insurgency, it will address themselves. We all agree that one of the factors that brought this insurgency is the issue of bad governance, issue of poverty, unaddressed grievances, and so on and so forth.
With international aid gradually fading away, urgent action is needed to save these industries and stimulate economic growth in Borno State.
Kurena landala koksanare amde kuraso karawi kango dirnum kleyer ware kaw gashu aragana gaida mugana daranye arin yare bama banki arin gawar gamborungala ar furi ar fudusku mugana ne samma kolja karawi kangwa kaltanna sammana ar maratodin.
The government should come, part of the policy should include the capacity upgrade of this private sector, and by giving them soft loans for them to come back to business. These loans must also be recovered via the feedback and evaluation mechanism. As I said, government cannot do everything, but government can create the enabling environment for those who are interested to come and invest. By the time you do this, in the next 2, 3, 4 years, you can see how Borno will change. People will come, foreign direct investment will definitely come.
Borno can still unlock its industrial potential, create more employment opportunities, and pave the way for sustainable economic development as the state recovers from the years of protracted conflict. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umoru Kirawa.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has said that thunderstorms and hazy weather will affect many parts of the country between Sunday and Tuesday. In a weather update shared on Saturday in Abuja, NIMET said there would be moderate dust haze in states like Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Borno, Kano, Yobe, and Jigawa. The agency also said that Adamawa and Taraba states would likely see isolated thunderstorms during the forecast period. For the North Central region, NIMET said people should expect partly cloudy skies in the morning. In the south, morning thunderstorms are likely in Lagos, Cross River, Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom states, with more thunderstorms later in the day across other southern states. For generations, Ajiwa Dam in Katsina State was synonymous with thriving chili farms until now. Climate change, deforestation, and dying soils are forcing farmers like Abdul Hamid Maizabura to face an unthinkable choice: either abandon their ancestral livelihood or starve. Our reporter, Jamil Mabay, investigates how smart agriculture and resilient crops could revive Ajiwa's fading chili empire. Here's this exclusive report.
For 35 years, Abdulhamid Maizabur has known only one way of life: chili pepper farming. Once the heartbeat of chili production in the state, his land now struggles to yield expected produce.
An waye gari tangande da muke alfahari da shi a wannan logon yau ya zanto baya. Ya ni shekara biyu ma ban sa tangande ba. Da bana da bara ko gindi ban dasa ma bane. Ka san ko a wannan logon ina ga da cikin manoma na wannan logon wanda suke samun amfanin gona na tattasai.
The soil, exhausted by climate change and deforestation, has turned against him.
Mu dai noman nan shi muka sani shi ne sana'a. To kuma ga sana'ar tamu tana neman ta gagare mu saboda bayi.
For the first time in his life, Maizabura is at a crossroads. Either he abandons his only livelihood or choose starvation.
Na barin wannan kogin mu tai wani kogi, ni kaina yanzu ina da shawarwarin kila in raba noman rani na biyu in Allah ya kama lokacin da za a yi. In tai wani kogi inda ake samu in ko in tai kasar kaita, ko in tai kasar mashi, ko in tai kasar mai aduwa, ko in tai kasar daura.
Maizabura's story is not unique. Thousands of families in Ajiwa depended on irrigation farming until now.
Mafi ɗan uwanmu wanda suke so abin ma ya ci musu a so sun tafi. To ana haka masu ƙwazon yin ma za su iya bari. Kuma kaga abin yi zai ragu. Kan nan nauyin mu ya ƙaru. Kan nan ciyarwar mu ta iyalin mu ta ƙaru. Kuma samayyar da ake da abin ta ragu. Kan nan ga tsada.
However, rampant tree cutting for firewood and uncontrolled erosion have stripped the land of its fertility. Lower yields mean less food and less income. But 25 kilometers away, there is hope. Agricultural experts say smart farming could be the lifeline Ajiwa farmers desperately need.
We use these tanks to pump the water through all these hoses so that it will supply the water to any places where we plant. These hoses were designed to make sure the water come in drops.
With real-time data, farmers like Maizabura could know exactly when to plant, water, or harvest, maximizing their shrinking resources.
We reduce the impact of climate change and find a way so that we can have a better yield and improve varieties. Even in the rainy season farming, we have different kind of varieties that will stand this shortage of water.
Maizabura wants improved seedlings that are climate change resilient to revive his farming. Researchers like Bawali have started producing improved seedlings that feeds Maizabura's demand. From Katsina, for News Central, Jamil Mabai.
Nigeria's foremost pan-African station, News Central TV, held a road campaign in Lagos, connecting with grassroots communities while sharing gifts and spreading excitement. Now, News Central's Igbalani Omoni captured the vibrant reactions of Lagosians as they discovered more about what sets News Central apart from other broadcasters.
Live on the bustling streets of Lagos as a road activation campaign to raise awareness and viewership of its platform on GoTV channel 23. And as you can see behind me, the activation is on.
The campaign taking place along the busy Oshodi CMS Aja corridor features interactive activities, lively discussions and giveaways.
So please tell me, how do you feel having this umbrella, this gift?
Good, I feel very happy.
For sure.
Thank you, News Central. More blessing.
It has provided an opportunity for Lagosians to learn more about News Central TV's mission to bring news closer to the grassroots and to offer a platform for everyday people to share their stories.
I like the News Central of my is audio talk, water.
I'm following one of my friends that do advertise about the channel on Twitter. So I'm following him. His name is I think Tony Morris. So I'm following him on Twitter. He's my friend on Twitter. That's how I got to know about the News Central. They are very open, and they give the platform to the young people to, express themselves, and also talks about the current issue affecting this country presently. That's what I really like about it. I just pray that they will keep it up that way.
While engaging with Lagosians, the team is highlighting what sets News Central TV apart from other stations and the unique value viewers gain by tuning in.
We are making quality news accessible to all, not just the A class, but of course to the grassroots, and that's why we're here today, and that's why we decided to launch on GoTV, to make sure that we're providing quality news and not propaganda news to everybody, from the A class to the D class. Everybody deserves to get access to quality news, so that is one of the things that makes us different.
At News Central TV, we believe that everyone has a story worth telling. We remain committed to telling authentic African stories and amplifying diverse voices across the continent. In Lagos for News Central,
I love News Central!
Igbalani Omoni.
Now we move on from that. The federal government says that it is commencing efforts aimed at empowering young Nigerians with the launch of a new Teenage Talent Hunt initiative. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, made this known during the official flag off ceremony of the program in Abuja, saying that the initiative will engage teenagers from across the country, helping drive content development, talent scouting, and also nationwide outreach with a strong focus on inclusivity and broad participation.
This partnership represents our commitment to empower the young people with and engage them by creating platforms that discover and grow their talents. The initiative agrees with our visions to engage young people in meaningful and impactful way. I'm therefore happy to tell you that we are doing this to create a meaningful and a reality show that respect and value and culture as a country.
A program designed to assess the intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, and social quotient of our teenagers that are in SS3 and those yet to be admitted into the university. They will be engaging in quiz competition, essay writing, poetry, cookout show, cooking Nigerian delicacies, cultural dance, beauty pageantry, showcasing the diverse cultures of Nigerians.
Now we move away from Nigeria and to Kigali, Rwanda, where 3 top officials from the country's Mines, Petroleum and Gas Board have been arrested along with 4 other businessmen in a sweeping corruption probe. The Rwanda Investigation Bureau says the arrest of Augustine Romushana, John Kanyangira, and Richard Niyongabo relate to alleged abuses of power, unlawful wealth accumulation, and money laundering. Now, the crackdown comes amid growing scrutiny of Rwanda's mineral sector following EU sanctions on the board's head, Francis Kamanzi, over ties to the M23 rebel group in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The UN has accused Rwanda of exploiting DRC's mineral resources via armed proxies, a charge Kigali denies. Investigations into the officials' possible links to illicit mineral trafficking are ongoing. In Algeria, a deadly landslide has claimed 4 lives and injured 13 others in the western coastal city of Oran. The disaster struck late Saturday in the High Esanuba district, collapsing 5 tin houses. According to the Civil Defense Agency, the victims ranged in age from 5 to 43, while the injured, aged between 12 and 75, are being treated for various wounds. Authorities have confirmed that no one is missing, making the current death toll final. The Interior Ministry has not disclosed the cause of the landslide. The incident highlights the vulnerability of informal housing in disaster-prone areas. Emergency services responded swiftly, and an investigation is now underway to determine what triggered the collapse. Now in business, Angola's Finance Minister, Vera Davis de Souza, has said they are running stress tests to assess the impact of falling oil prices. That's on its finances, hinting a request for an IMF loan is increasing likely. Angola's 2025 budget is based on $70 oil, but Brent had briefly dipped below $60. A $45 price could force a supplementary budget. Angola faces $8 billion in Chinese loan repayments and recently paid $200 million to JP Morgan after a margin call. The Southern African nation is seeking to boost tax revenues and manage debt. Angola is postponing international market borrowing amid volatile conditions, focusing instead on critical infrastructure projects. Nigeria is moving from concessional and commercial external funding towards domestic revenue mobilization. This is according to Finance Minister Wale Edun. He made the comment after the 2025 IMF and World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., and Edun said Nigeria is prioritizing tax reforms and asset optimization over borrowing. He noted that the country has cut its IMF debt by 87.5% over 2 years, with full repayment expected by mid-2025. The Tinubu administration strategy is to attract private sector investment into sectors like infrastructure and digital services to drive economic growth and stability, moving away from reliance on external borrowings. In the world of sports, former Premier Football League side Remo Stars are on the verge of clinching their first ever title with a home victory over Niger Tornadoes in Ikenne. Daniel Ogumodede's side, a runner-up in the last 2 seasons, will secure an unsaleable 68 points with 3 matches to spare if they win the match day 35 encounter. Their closest challengers, Rivers United, lost 2-0 to Kano Pillars on Friday, making it harder for them to catch up. A title win would make Remo Stars the first Southwest club to claim the NPFL since Julius Berger in 2000 and the first privately owned club to do so in 20 years following defunct Udoji United's success. Real Madrid defender Antonio Rudiger has apologized after being sent off during the Copa del Rey final defeat to Barcelona for throwing an object at referee Ricardo de Burgos. Now, Rudiger, along with teammate Lucas Vazquez, received a straight red card following a heated reaction to a late foul on Kylian Mbappe. Now, Jude Bellingham was also dismissed for dissent shortly after. The referee's report stated that Rudiger threw an ice cube that missed him. The Germany defender issued an apology via Instagram, expressing regret for his actions. Rudiger faces a possible suspension ranging from 4 matches to a year, depending on how the Spanish Football Federation classifies the offense. Ethiopia's Takes the Sefer surged to victory in a world record for a women's only field in the London Marathon, while Kenya's Sebastian Sawe triumphed in the men's race. Now, Olympic silver medalist Asefa burst clear of 2021 winner Jocelyn Jepkosgei of Kenya with 10 kilometers to go before crossing the line in 2 hours, 15 minutes and 50 seconds. Asefa beat the previous record set by Perez Jepchichi of Kenya in London last year by 26 seconds. Jepkosgei finished second, nearly 3 minutes behind, with 2023 winner and Olympic champion Sifan Hassan of the Netherlands in third. And in the men's race, debutant Sebastian Sawe kicked on with a little over 10 kilometers remaining, and his rivals were unable to respond, with the Kenyan finishing in 2 minutes, 2 seconds and 27 milliseconds. Now, half marathon world record holder Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda was over a minute down in second on his full marathon debut, and 2024 winner Alexander Mutiso Munyao came third. Still talking sports, Chris Eubank Jr. is doing well in hospital after defeating Conor Benn by unanimous decision in a fierce 12th-round middleweight fight at London's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Promoter Ben Shalom confirmed that Eubank was taken to hospital for precautionary checks, dismissing rumors of a broken jaw. All 3 judges scored the bout 116, that's the bout 116-112 in Eubank's favor after an intense but inconclusive contest. Shalom emphasized the importance of post-fight medical checks, recalling past incidents involving Nick Blackwell and Michael Watson. Saturday's fight carried heavy emotional weight, with Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn's historic rivalry adding to the drama. Eubank Sr. made a surprise appearance to support his son despite past criticisms of the bout. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our top stories. We told you that all eyes turn to conclave as Pope Francis' tomb opens to public. We also told you that Abia Governor OT has dismissed reports suggesting movement to APC. Finally, you heard that deadly landslide claimed lives, with many hospitalized in Algeria's western coastal city of Oran. Remember, you can send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Start on channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.